Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's really interesting how we see the events happening in Gaza and how people are reacting to that events happening in Gaza. Despite the fact that we see these people, these guys are being killed, but then the patience, the resistance, and all that is something that is really shocking. And people are wanting to know what's driving these guys, what's really behind this strength these guys show, despite the fact that these guys are being killed. Subhanallah, they are being carpet bombarded, but then you see these guys saying Alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah, this is my share of the whole thing. So we turn back to Allah. We are happy with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed upon us. And in fact, you see them congratulating each other when any of them is being killed. So these are the things that made a lot of people, especially from the West and beyond, wanting to know what's driving these guys. And the only thing they could fall back to is the Quran. And the moment they read Quran, we've seen lots and lots of them reverting back to Islam. Subhanallah. Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah An-Nasr, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحِ, and when the victory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes and the conquest. So sometimes what we see as victory isn't necessarily what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defines as victory. Okay? And when the victory of Allah and conquest comes, وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ, and then you see people يَدَخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا, entering the religion of Allah in multitudes. And this is exactly what we're seeing. We've seen lots and lots of videos of people entering Islam, of people saying they have bought the Quran, they want to start reading the Quran, and a lot more that have read the Quran and are now becoming, subhanallah, Muslims. Let's watch this clip and come back.
Now, did I expect for me to read the Quran and it resonate with the core beliefs and values I already have?
I didn't know any of this stuff. The propaganda runs deep, but I don't think I've ever understood anything as much as I've understood the Quran.
I'm no longer a Christian reading Quran. I am now a Muslim reading Quran. Alhamdulillah, I am Muslim today.
So I'm taking my shahada today.
Before we continue, inshallah, I'll be starting a Quran class totally free, and inshallah we'll have a specific number of people that we will be needing, inshallah. So you can message muslimrecite@gmail.com. so you see it there, muslimrecite@gmail.com. so you can send if you're interested, especially for those that are reverts to Islam and you don't have places you can easily learn to recite the Quran from. So you can easily join us, inshallah, and we'll be more than happy to welcome you. And it's a 3-month course, 90 days, inshallah. And before the end of that 90 days, you should be able to recite the Quran. And if you want to go further and learn the tajweed, you are most welcome to join us. You see, a lot of people might ask that why are these guys converting? Why would these people want to put themselves in harm's way? Like I said earlier, the way we define victory isn't the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defines victory. Sometimes, yes, victory might be winning and having conquest, but sometimes it is deeper than that. To the believers, even losing is victory. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِن يَمْسَسْكُمْ قَرْحٌ, and when a wound touches you, فَقَدْ مَسَّ الْقَوْمَ قَرْحٌ مِثْلُ, the opposing people, something similar has already touched them. I don't have to start going back to history and telling you about these guys, what really happened to them. It is something that you already know. So فَقَدْ مَسَّ الْقَوْمَ قَرْحٌ مِثْلُ, something similar to that has touched them. And Allah further said, وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ, and these days we alternate between the people. Sometimes these guys become victorious, sometimes these other ones become victorious. But when it comes to the believer, even losing is victory. Allah further said, وَلْيَعْلَمَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَيَتَّخِذَ مِنْكُمْ شُهَدًا, so Allah may make evident those who believe and also take from amongst you the martyrs. Now, how would Allah establish those who believes amongst you and also take martyrs from amongst you if things like this doesn't happen? So that's why I said, when it comes to the believers, even losing in the fight is victory to them. And this is one thing that drives the enemy crazy, and this is something that motivates others that are watching from afar. Like I said, this is enough to make someone wants to know about these guys, about the fate of these guys. This is enough for someone to want to look at the Quran. And you see, finally, this is the message I have for the enemies. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and perhaps you may learn something from here, because it's becoming very obvious that this is what is happening. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Innal ladhina kafaru, and that those who disbelieve, ينفقون أموالهم ليصدوا عن سبيل الله, they spend their wealth just to take people away from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فسينفقونها, they will indeed spend this wealth. ثم تكون عليهم حسرة, so after spending this much wealth, it will become something of regret to them. They would surely regret spending this much money. ثم يغلبون, and they will be defeated despite spending billions of dollars, billions and billions of dollars. They will be defeated. They will be defeated. These are the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this will surely come to pass. And this is exactly what the believers believe. With this I say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.